Hey guys, I just came back from Disney World and look what I got. Isn't this awesome? I've been dying to get one of these since I was a kid. Anyway, I finally went to Disney World like I mentioned before, so I thought this would be a pretty appropriate time to talk about Suicidemouse.avi. Now, I wanted to talk about grad night at the Haunted Mansion, but that story is way too long right now, and I was planning to save that for a later occasion. As a whole, it's a pretty okay, decent story. I mean, when it originally came out, like back in 2010 or whenever, I can't remember when, it was pretty damn popular. It was like one of the starting grounds for the lost episode genre and whatnot. Nowadays, it's just kind of the generic pasta where it's like, oh, I watched something horrifying, there was a bunch of screams and stuff, and then I killed myself. This story was pretty interesting though. Like, I reread it again recently. I thought it was pretty decent. I kind of like where it went, how the episode could be found online and stuff, and that could be feasible. People have done that kind of stuff before to an extent, and they've uploaded things they shouldn't have. Like, it's kind of leaked online somehow, so yeah. Suicidemouse.avi is an interesting story to go with. Like, obviously we know it's all fake and whatnot. There's been like a million videos online showing how it works and stuff, how Mickey is just walking down the road by himself in different animations and different styles and whatnot, so yeah. Anyway, all I can say is pretty decent story. Sorry if I'm rambling a bit. I'm just happy to be talking about another Disney pasta, and I'm finally happy to get my Mickey and Mouse hats. I've been dying to get these damn ears for a long time since I was a kid. Suicide Mouse is a lost episode creepypasta and is widely seen as the forefather of the entire lost episode genre. This story is based off of an old unseen Mickey Mouse episode. There is also a video that is based off the creepypasta. So do any of you remember those Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 1930s? The ones that were just put out on DVD a few years ago? Well, I hear there is one that was unreleased to even the most avid classic Disney fan. According to sources, it's nothing special. It's just a continuous loop of Mickey Mouse walking past 6 buildings that goes on for 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in though, the song on this cartoon was not a song at all, just a constant banging on a piano for 1.5 minutes before going to white noise for the remainder of the film. It wasn't the jolly old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing, not even smiling, just kind of walking as if you or I were walking, with a normal facial expression, but for some reason his head tilted side to side as he kept his dismal look. Up until a year or two ago, everyone believed that it cut to black and that was it. When Leonard Maltin was reviewing the cartoon to be put in the complete series, he decided it was too junk to be on the DVD, but wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact that it was a creation of Walt. When he had a digitalized version up on his computer to look at the file, he noticed something. The cartoon was actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is what my source emailed to me in full. Keep in mind, he is a personal assistant of one of the higher executives at Disney, an acquaintance of Mr. Maltin himself. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back into Mickey walking. The sound was different this time. It was a murr. It wasn't a language, but more like a gurgle cry. As the noise got more indistinguishable and louder over the next minute, the picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started to go in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey's walking, and the dismal face of the mouse was slowly curling into a smirk. On the 7th minute, the murder turned into a blood-curdling scream, and the picture was getting more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't have been possible at the time. Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled on the bottom of his chin like 2 marbles in a fishbowl, and his curled smile was pointing upwards on the left side of his face. The buildings became rumble, floating in midair, and the sidewalks were still impossibly navigating in warped directions. A few seemingly inconceivable with what we as humans know about direction. Mr. Maltin got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything happening up until the last second. and afterward immediately stored a disc of the cartoon to the vault. This distorted screaming lasted until 8 minutes and a few seconds in. And then it abruptly cuts to the Mickey Mouse face at the credits at the end of every video with what sounded like a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever was in that remaining 30 seconds, I haven't been able to get a silver of information about. From a security guard working under me who was making rounds outside of that room, I was told that after the last frame, the employee stumbled out of the room with pale skin saying, "Real suffering is not known," 7 times before speedily taking the guard's pistol and offing himself on the spot. The thing I could get out of Leonard Martin was that the last frame was a piece of Russian text that roughly said, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." As far as I know, no one else has seen it, but there have been dozens of attempts at getting the file on Rabbit Share by employees inside the studios, all of whom have been promptly terminated of their jobs. Whether it got online or not is up for debate, but if rumors serve me right, it's online somewhere under Suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it, and to contact me by phone immediately, regardless of the time. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means this has to be something huge. Get back at me. TR. I have yet to find a copy of this, but it is out there. I know it.